Stop you right there. So for y'all 20 to 28-year-old people, yo, cut that shit out.
This is what I'm getting to.
Cut that shit out, yo. Like that shit corny. Y'all think I thought it myself.
People see people like us in a relationship that looks healthy on the outside. I mean, here and there, but it looks like you look happy. You have your kids, your family. Like they don't want to be alone. That's scary to think about.
So
Especially
I
if you have
wasn't
no prospects. Like
but I wasn't going there. I was just going there
I'm
to
just
say
explaining why they want that.
no. I'm talking about the 20 to like 27, 28-year olds.
I'm
There
talking
is
about
life after 28. Like you don't have to do everything in your 20s.
Hey, I'm Tamicia.
And I'm Omar, and you're listening or watching Marriage No Chaser.
We're going to share with you the uncut version of marriage from our own experiences and what marriage is teaching us every day.
And to start off, like usual, we're going to take a shot. Better this time.
That went in my nose.
Oh, that ain't good.
Okay.
So for today's episode, we're going to talk about being young and married.
So, I thought you were going to start off.
All right, so
We'll start with how we got engaged. Sorry.
all right, so we got engaged 2011 on Christmas. So I plan to do it at my grandma's house during Christmas because I always, I have a bigger family, so I want to do it in front of them more versus doing it like out in public. I mean, I don't think I like being in public like that and having my business out there. So,
I mean, I don't like public shit either.
so I guess it worked because I kind of knew that she, I didn't know how she was gonna react if
we had talked about it. So, I mean, I wasn't expecting it to happen there at your family. I figured it would be more of a private thing.
like more like of a one-on-one thing.
Or like us and a few friends, if that. But I mean, I wasn't actually thinking about it like that either. I wasn't like, this is what my engagement is going to look like because we talked about it, but I never really thought about like the planning of it. Like, I was just really nervous because I didn't know your family that well yet. And there's like 11 of them. So I was like, is he serious right now? But, I mean, we were engaged regardless. So.
True. So, how the engagement happened? I had bought the ring. I showed her a couple different rings that I thought she would like, and of course, we talked about it for a little while, and then all of a sudden, I ended up getting the ring, and I go to my grandma's house. It's probably like maybe a couple days before I ask you. And I show it to my mom, my grandma.
I didn't know this. I didn't know they knew before.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that they knew like the day of because everybody was like being awkward and told me to come out to see you in the living room. But I didn't know they knew like a couple days ahead of time.
Yeah. So like I tried to plan it a little better than I did to make it seem more authentic and genuine. So I'm at my grandma's house and she's excited, my mom's excited, but we're also still very young. And they let me know that like, hey, you're still young and this is a big step forward, especially being 18, getting engaged. not really knowing life or who we are yet.
Right.
So, boom, Christmas Day comes, and we're sitting in my uncle's room on the couch just chilling. And I have the ring in my pocket, and I'm nervous as fuck.
I didn't notice anything was off.
Bro, I'm sitting there, bro. I'm sitting here nervous as shit. So, we eat and whatnot, and then boom, it's time to open presents.
Is that what it was? I don't even remember much else besides like, was it Ebony that came and got me?
I believe so.
I don't know. I thought it was weird because she was like, "Hey, Omar wants to see you," and I'm like, "Okay." And I got up, but they were all like smiling and all. Everybody was looking at me weird.
So
I
like,
was like, what the
and
hell?
so like everybody's like sitting in the living room, and if you know my family, like it's a lot of people at my grandma's house.
Mm.
So it's everybody just in there sitting, and my nerves is just going fucking crazy. And then I get down on one knee, and I fucking grab the wrong hand. And I'm trying to force the ring on the wrong hand, and she pulling away. And I'm like, nigga, like, please don't embarrass me.
I didn't even think about it from your perspective. I'm over here like trying to give you my other hand, let it go, and you
Bruh.
kept trying to put it on my hand, and I'm like, no.
I
I think I
thought,
probably just said. I think I just said it's the wrong hand. I don't remember.
maybe, but
Or
like,
somebody else did.
like, I'm like, bro, like, she really about to pull away and say no. Like, if she would have done it, like, if she would have said no, like, at the house or like when we're 1-on-1, okay, cool. Like, ain't nobody see it. And I'm cool with being embarrassed by myself. But you did it in front of my family? Oh, man, like, I was going to be hurt. But my dumb ass was putting it on the wrong finger. So then I finally got the right hand. And then, boom, we're engaged. And
I don't think you asked. I think someone was like, "Are you gonna ask her?" Because you like got on one knee and had the ring like looking at me. I don't think you asked right away. I think they had to tell you, or maybe I didn't answer something.
I can see either or. I
I think I just shook
remember.
my head because I was like, "Look, as soon as I figured out what's going on, I was ready to run away." Like,
Hold on.
I did the same thing at the wedding though. Like,
You were ready to run?
My first instinct, because there's a lot of people looking at me at the same time, and my heart is racing. My first thought is like, run. But I'm sitting there like, you can't run. I'm also frozen. I'm thinking run, but I'm frozen.
Okay.
So, not like run because I don't want to get married, but run because there's people like looking at me all at once. Like I don't like attention like that. I can't. That's why I was like, I think I told you before. I was like, that was. I mean, it was a personal family type of situation, but at the same time, I was like, if I were to pick, that wouldn't have been it because I just can't do a lot of people.
Okay, so if you could pick the do-over, would you rather do it like in a public setting or like okay, and when I say public, I mean like you see on social media how everybody get these cute proposals, and I'm like, damn, my shit was lame as fuck. Maybe I should have just, you know what I'm saying, took the time and just did something that she would remember. But I feel like knowing you, if I would have went that route, I feel like you would have been way more nervous. And I feel like you probably would have said no because it was in that setting.
I feel like I would have said yes regardless. But
Okay.
I feel like you didn't think about what I was thinking. You were thinking about what made you more comfortable.
I can see that.
You can see that, or is that it?
No, I definitely can. Yeah, I would say it's it.
But I mean, me today and me back then is different. So me today, I don't care if you make a big, huge thing in the public. But at the same time, I wouldn't be as nervous as I was then if it was like some public thing, like on like Facebook.
Okay.
But back then, I think I would have rather had it just be us and maybe like two of our good friends.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter now because either way,
Hey,
we're
good
engaged.
point. Good point.
I mean, anyway, so yeah, we got engaged at 18. And the first thing your mom said is, y'all are going to wait, right?
Yeah.
Like, how long are you going to be engaged? And I was thinking, like, we're not getting engaged till after college, or we're not getting married until after college. And she was like, good, y'all need to be getting married now. So, well, yeah, we planned on, like, because you were going to go, was it Alabama at first?
Yeah, Alabama was the first school.
And then I was going to stay at UAA. And so we planned on being engaged. And then after we finish school, you come back and we get married. But then that didn't happen.
That definitely didn't happen. So I had went to school in Alabama for what, like a semester?
Because then you came home from Alabama, and what happened?
So I came home because I wasn't playing football. And then I come back home and I go to UAA for a semester. And it's not bad going there. And then I tell you I'm leaving again to go to South Dakota to go play football. How'd you feel when I told you that I'm leaving? Being engaged.
I honestly don't remember. I mean, I probably was upset because we were going to school together. I really am not sure if that's the order of events or not. I feel like you...
That's definitely the order of events.
I don't know why I don't remember you going to UAA in the middle. I thought it was like the last.
No.
No, I guess that's right. But I mean, you were going to leave regardless, so it's not like I had to
Good
sit
point.
in anything. We did have some rocky areas in there where we were, I guess, not getting along and you were leaving again. But on my end of things, I was going to UAA miserable because all my friends had left. And I think Rachel was the only one that was going to UAA, but she was about to leave to California.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, I'm about to be here working. I literally went to work. No, I had my morning classes, went to work, and then I had my night classes. And then I was doing homework at night, and like repeat. I didn't have no friends, no social life, and I talked to you when I could. So I was like, I'm over this. I don't really want to be in school. So I literally would work my job, and literally all the money from my job I'd be saving to pay for the next semester. So I was like, I basically didn't have a social life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just was, and my parents, I wasn't getting along with my dad. That's the story. So I was just like, you know what? I need to get out of here. I don't know how. So I'm like, let me go talk to a recruiter. I decided to join the military, and I tried to talk you into it, and you were like, yeah, I'll do that. But then you had decided to leave. You're like, yeah, but you know, I'll think about it. Like, I'm just gonna go play football and see how that is. So I was under the impression you weren't gonna join, and I was gonna join.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was like, oh, you're gonna go meet some military man, or you're gonna be out there, and long distance isn't gonna last for you guys this time, and you're gonna be living on your own and all this other stuff, and you're gonna forget about him. And I'm like, no, I don't think that's gonna happen. He'd probably come with me and go to school or something. Like, I don't know where I'm gonna go. Depending on where I go, he'll probably come with me. I'm like, oh, so you're gonna take care of him? And I was like, no, he could get a job,
But like low key, like at first that was the plan.
mm-hmm.
That was like the original plan of us like going. You were gonna go, and I was just gonna, fuck it. I have nothing to lose. Might as well just go with her to wherever the fuck we're going
without joining, right?
Yeah, that was like my original without joining was just to go with you.
Because I never thought you were gonna join.
Shit, I didn't either.
But yeah, so then I don't know what happened. Oh, your mom got sick. So you ended up coming back, and you didn't know how long you were going to stay. Like, it was like I'm coming back for a little bit to see how she's doing. And then you ended up staying longer, and then you finally was like, I'm gonna join too. So basically, we decided to make sure that we're stationed together, since we both committed to joining the Air Force, that we were gonna get married. But we decided that we wanted to do it in the courthouse, just like on our regular anniversary in July. We thought we were just gonna go. I'm gonna buy like a cute dress. I was gonna buy like a actual wedding dress. That's the only thing I was gonna pay for, was a nice wedding dress. Go to the courthouse, and then I wanted just nice wedding photos. I didn't need a whole ceremony or reception, or maybe we would have like a reception with family.
Yeah.
That was the plan. And then my mom was getting ready to move out of town, and she was leaving June 1st. She said she doesn't want she can't come back, so we gotta get married before she leaves. I'm like, okay, that's not a huge deal. We could do courthouse before she leaves.
Yep.
And she was like, no, you gotta get married one time. You only get married once. You gotta have an actual wedding. We were like, what? I was like, who's paying for it? She said, oh yeah, I'm gonna help pay. I got money saved up. I'm gonna help pay for it. You gotta have a wedding because this is your first time, and it should be your only time, right?
Yep.
So what do? We decided to have a wedding. It was supposed to still be small, but I might have went overboard with I think the most money we spent was on the reception location.
But it was very nice though.
But then it wasn't like we were of age to drink.
And
I feel like we could have had it at the church, because no one's drinking, so no one's really dancing. Like, I feel like it was kind of lame.
The venue was perfect if we were of age.
I mean, we could have. If we were gonna pay for the venue, we should have just had our wedding there too.
I agree.
We could have. There's so many regrets, but anyway, I feel like we wasted money on it. I feel like I would have been happy with the courthouse, and then later on having like a wedding, like at like a 10-year anniversary type thing, or even sooner. But looking back now, we wouldn't have ever had a wedding until probably 10 years, because we still haven't had a honeymoon. So
yeah, if you watching this, donate please. We trying to get
to a honeymoon fund.
Hey, we need
gonna
this
put
honeymoon.
the Cash App up there on the screen.
Hey, for real.
Anyway, yeah, we haven't really had a honeymoon. That's another story in itself of how crazy our married life has been. But what was I saying? Oh, so basically, I have regrets, but it is what it is. It happened. It was nice. We planned a wedding in a month and a half.
Yeah.
Cause it was like April. We decided we were gonna do a courthouse in July, which doesn't need planning.
Doesn't need too much planning. Yeah.
And buying like a dress and a tux. Like, so we planned a wedding in a month and a half. With the help of my mom a little bit. I spent all my savings for that next semester that I was supposed to go to at UAA on the wedding. I spent every penny of that. So, I mean, I don't feel like it was worth it. I could have had that money going into my first base.
Good point.
But, basically, it was just a mess. I feel like my wedding day was so stressful. The whole wedding planning process was stressful. I mean, we had good friends that helped us. Like, shout out Rachel. Hey, Rachel. Thanks for your help. And then Ashley. I forget her last name. I think she got married now. She went to my church. Shout out Ashley. She's probably not going to be watching, but shout out to her too. She was like our wedding planner without pay. And then Rachel swooped in at the end, and like they worked together. And then, even Miles and Tiki. Shout out y'all, because y'all was in there the last, week? We weren't sleeping. We was up all night. Making decorations or whatever we were doing.
Putting invitations together.
That's what it was, I think. But then, what else? Who else helped? I know it was pretty much all I can think of.
The main people that helped? Yeah, I would.
And then, like, the wedding party was
Who's
of
there?
course, they helped. But, they know who they are. I'm not going to keep shouting out names. But, I feel like the wedding day could have went better.
I feel like
1,000 reasons.
For me, I don't. For me, like, it was a lot of just extra little shit that I had to run around and do. It was always like, I would pull up to the church. Hey, we need you to go do this.
And that was the day of?
Yes.
That's crazy because the day of, I was just doing hair and makeup.
Yeah, you were just in the room chilling.
No, I was pissed though, but that's another story.
I'm running around grabbing extra candles or grabbing something. And
the last minute things that didn't come together. So basically, in that short little month and a half before we got married and we're planning a freaking wedding, my mom was like, you guys need to schedule marriage counseling before you get married. That's probably the only thing that my mom or anybody gave me for advice before getting married was she said, you need to do marriage counseling. And I need to get on birth control. That's what she said.
Yeah, that too.
But other than that, it was literally like no one said anything. Besides people like saying, oh, you guys are kind of young. Oh, marriage is different. Marriage is hard. And that's pretty much it. Like they don't say what it is that's hard. So I'm assuming it's like we just got to communicate. Like people just argue a lot when they're married. Like people get tired of each other and they argue a lot. But we're going to stay, like we're good at communicating now. We don't have big issues now, so why would we have any when we get married? Nothing should really change besides the title.
Boy, boy, was we wrong. But when her mom mentioned that, I said, therapy? Who needs that? Like, I don't need that. What? Therapy? Black people don't go to therapy?
I didn't think any of that. I was just thinking we didn't have time.
Nah, I definitely was like,
because they were saying we have to have a certain amount of time of counseling for it to actually be effective. And I was like, we literally don't have that much time. We're going to squeeze sessions in this short amount of time. We both have jobs and we're planning a wedding. And on top of that, we were planning this, but I didn't know. I didn't have a date to leave yet. So I was like, I could leave whenever he called. Like,
true.
I had no idea when I was leaving. And luckily, I found out, like, I think it was the beginning of May. I got a call and he was like, hey, you got a date to leave. And it was like September, end of September, right? It was like September 23rd. And I was like, what? Like we were walking into Joann's Fabric or something. Like we were literally in the middle of wedding planning. And I saw that he was calling. I was like, fuck, I'm about to leave like now. That's what I thought it was going to be. But a good thing I had enough time. But basically, I found out I was leaving in September. We planned this wedding in 6 weeks. We didn't do any marriage counseling because we thought that we didn't have time and you just thought counseling was stupid.
Yeah.
So we didn't do it. And we have regrets.
Yeah, definitely. Looking back on it, I definitely would recommend going to counseling. We
might have like waited. I mean, getting married young was, I don't think it was all bad. I mean, we're talking like it was bad.
Yeah, I mean there's definitely pros and cons to it.
We thought we knew what we were doing, so we thought it was all good. But I feel like it has its ups and downs. It's got pros and cons. Like some of the pros
would be like...
we didn't have to go through a million people and date. Like, we already knew each other. We didn't go through... I mean, that's good and bad, though.
Yeah, I feel like, that should be, like, in the middle of, like, pros and cons. Like, I don't think you should date a lot of people all the time, but then I also feel like you should date so you can experience what you want. And especially us being at an early age, 18...
We had an experience.
19, you know what I mean? Like, being married at 20 was like, yo, this is totally different. Like, I barely even know who I am, let alone who you are or who you're going to be as a person.
Right. I mean, like, I think more of, like, what I meant is, like, dating today and what people was talking about. We need to go through that.
Yeah.
I mean, because no offense to y'all.
I feel like
I feel like it's rough out there. Like,
yeah, I definitely
there
think
is no commitment. You can't trust nobody. People out here wilding. Even the women are wilding now. Like,
so like now, like I would definitely. Well, I mean, there has to be. There is still good women and good men out there.
Right, but then you have to go through all the bad ones to get there. We didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, we went through the bad parts of each other.
Yeah, I definitely
but,
say that.
I mean, actual pro, I feel like we got to experience a lot of firsts together. Yeah. And we could look back on that. And it's kind of cool. I mean, we got our first apartment together. We Got our first dog, our first cars.
Our first move was to Las Vegas together.
Right.
So like we had many
First
first
kid
experiences together. So like that was like the best, one of the best things, like being able to share something with your best friend and also your partner.
Right. And so we kind of understood what each other was going through. Like, instead of someone who's got to deal with all that stuff on their own without someone that really, I feel like we had experienced that, but we experienced it like, at the same time together.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have, we weren't alone.
Yeah.
Like, some people join the military straight out of high school by themselves, get a new place, don't really know people. Like, at least we were together through all of that. We had hard times, but at least we were together, even if we did hate each other some of the time.
Yeah, and that's definitely, I would say that's definitely one of another pro was like definitely being able to lean on each other when there were hard times, even when we were angry about shit.
Right. Cons.
Cons would definitely be like finances.
We didn't know nothing about none of that.
Like we never were taught that.
Well, one thing I knew for sure is that we had to get the bills paid. That's one thing I cared about. You, on the other hand?
Oh yeah, I was wilding. We got this money. Like, I mean, the bills are gonna be taken care of.
We get a paycheck, and I was the one paying the bills. Like, not just my money, but I mean, like, I'm the one making sure that they're getting paid. Like,
making the budget,
setting up direct. Not even a budget. We didn't have a budget.
Yeah, valid.
I was setting up direct deposits and paying the bills. Usually right after we got paid, and then whatever was left, both of us was just like, well, I want to say more you, but you influenced me, because at one point we was going to Nike store spending our paycheck every 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The Nike outlet, that was our spot.
Yeah, like every week. Hey, what we doing this week? Hey, I'm off this weekend. What we got to do? We got to pull up to the Nike outlet.
It was a mess, because we made sure Tamar had some formula he wasn't eating, so we was eating out and we was buying Nike shit.
Yeah, we were making sure that the house was taken care of, but then we would also, go spend on ourselves.
We were living paycheck to paycheck. Like, literally, we would spend the money and then be waiting for the next check. Like, dude, we gotta get some gas. Like,
yeah, good, yeah.
Like, dang, you got $5. Let's check the change.
Yeah, like, hey.
Yeah, the dollar menu at McDonald's. Get some change real quick. We got 2 days till payday. We gonna buy some McDonald's on the dollar menu, okay?
Facts. And then another con would be immaturity. I feel that
goes in hand with what we're just talking about too.
Yeah, like just I feel like with me, I felt like I was super immature back then.
You couldn't tell me I was immature at all. Period. I knew everything.
Yeah.
Period. I knew what life had to bring. I knew that marriage was gonna be fine because we knew what the fuck we was doing. We were we knew how to communicate. We wasn't gonna have real fights. We was gonna have little petty fights. We always had little petty fights, but we knew what we was doing. And I know how to pay bills. As long as bills are paid, things are fine. Like, I knew life.
Period. Oh yeah, you already you had been through 3 lives the way you used to want to be, right?
Right. I didn't realize that I was also immature. It's like, okay, Omar's immature because he's want to spend all the money and go out all the time.
Yeah, and have fun.
But like, meanwhile, we did have a kid right after I got out of tech school. Or got out of basic training. Basically, I found out I was pregnant in tech school. So, I mean, was it last week at tech school I found out I was pregnant, which means I got pregnant right after basic training.
That's another story.
So that's another thing. We were young. We didn't know what we were doing. We thought we knew what we were doing, at least on my end. And then, boom, we found out we're going to Vegas. Boom, I found out I was pregnant, and I was so depressed. Like,
so,
because I definitely didn't know what to do with a kid, and I knew that.
Yeah. So what? We're 20, 21?
We're 20.
Married and with a kid.
No, we turned 21 before he was born. So we were 21 with the kid. Newly married in a new place. Started new careers.
With a new kid.
With a baby.
And we think...
And neither one of us... No one ever told me then. People never told me then. Like, all the stuff that comes with... After having a child, how it affects your relationship.
Just had a lack of support, honestly. I think we just had a
Well, lack
lack
of
of
support
support.
because we were in the military, we are in a new place, and people had their own lives and didn't come live with us. Like
Yeah,
that wasn't an option. We
I
didn't have
wasn't
mom
saying
up the street.
necessarily have like that support system or that village.
Well, that's what I was saying. So
I was saying more of just like blessings or
not
like
blessings, more like
like support.
knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge. Like they
No
never
one sat us down and really talked to us about anything.
they never gave us like the 100% real. Like, hey, we're about to embark on this adulthood life, and no one's like, yo, these are the things you need to do.
These are things you need to look out for. This is what could happen. I didn't know anything about postpartum depression until they asked me at my first appointment, like after baby or post baby. I had that 6 weeks later. I had that appointment, and they asked me about if I felt depressed, and I was like, no. And I was like, what? Postpartum depression? I know nothing about that. Period. Like I just know I know military. You're supposed to check all the boxes that say you're not depressed, you don't want to kill yourself, or none of that.
Yeah, that's
So I didn't
exactly
do
what
none
we're
of that.
taught.
I mean, I might have been stressed, but I mean,
Who's not stressed being newlyweds in a new location?
right. And on top of that, most of my pregnancy, you went off to basic in tech school, so I was alone for more than half of my pregnancy, and you weren't there for the birth of Tamar.
No,
so
I was not.
It was like last time we saw each other, we didn't have a kid, and then you came home and there's a kid.
So like our world is literally
so on top of
turned upside
everything
down.
being new in the first year of our marriage, we get to see each other for the first time in 6 months, and we have a kid, and I've been doing it for a week, and you just show up, and I'm just so involved in Tamar and everything with Tamar. So I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing, and you're just there like, okay, well, I've been gone for this long, and you don't even care about me.
That's another story as well.
But basically, it's like we were young. No one told us any of this stuff. I don't know if it was. I mean, they might have said it's gonna be hard, and
They give us the generic
like no one
answers.
I feel like the reason why we started this whole podcast is because some people like us don't get any of that information from people close to them. Like, so here it is. If you are in this situation, or you planning on getting married and you're young, or you're already married and you're young, we're here. Ask us questions. This is what we're here for. We learned it all the hard way, but we rather everybody else,
have the easier way.
easier way, yeah. But it's still not going to be easy. It's just better to know what to expect, I guess. So honestly, would you get married at 20 again?
With me knowing everything that I know now. Honestly, I would say no. Like, I wouldn't say no, but I'm like in the middle.
You say knowing everything you know now. You talking about taking the knowledge back?
Yeah,
or
like if I had all the knowledge that I have now, I would say no. Like if I had currently had all this
like you
knowledge,
could go back in time and know all the things that are gonna happen, like could happen, like knowing everything that someone told you all of this, like not all of it, but like told you more in depth about what marriage entails, you would probably say no. Not saying everything that specifically happened, because not like going back in time and knowing the future exactly, but like
I would
somebody
definitely
informing you on like, hey, it's hard, but this is why, and this is certain things that happen to most people, and this is why I believe you should wait. And you're saying no, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely saying no.
Me too, but go ahead.
So I'm saying no for the simple fact that our biggest thing was us growing and then expecting each other to still have that same mindset or the same like be the same person. Like you would grow and you would change, and I would notice that you're changing, but I'm like, yo, like this isn't the person that I was supposed to be with. Like you're totally different.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's like we grew at different rates, and we had to like adapt to the new versions of us constantly. And I mean, like, I didn't realize that till more recently that we literally,
Are
like,
changing a lot.
no, like, we literally had to do that. We had to adapt. Like, we had to, okay, this is the person that I fell in love with, but this is not the person that you are now. But I still want to be here and be with you, this new person. Like,
Yeah. So
I feel like we didn't consciously do that though. We kind of were just pushing through it. Like, we
yeah, very
slowly,
badly.
like we're like, okay, this fool is not the same person, but we're here. We have a kid, so
We're gonna figure it
let's
out.
not talk about it and just keep pushing forward. That's one thing. That communication I thought we had didn't happen.
That
We
definitely
didn't talk about
happen.
none of that. We were just feeling it and not talking about it.
So I would say no, and that was part of my reasoning. Was just, I would want to figure out who I am first.
Right.
And I know we have a lot of discussions about this now, and I would definitely want to know who I am and where I'm going and where I'm headed as far as like my purpose and my goals and my aspirations before I get married. Like if I can go back in time, like knowing everything, I would definitely say no and change
And
things.
I'm on the same page just because if someone told me all that, I would think, if anything, we would have joined and waited. We probably still would have considered each other and just put it on hold. I don't know that it would have worked out or not, but it's probably what we would have done. We probably wouldn't have just broke up. I don't see us doing that. I see us, we're going to wait. And who knows what would have happened. But I mean, if it was like my daughter coming to me or Tamara coming to me,
Her daughter's name is Amaya, by the way.
my daughter or my son, my children coming to me and saying, hey, I want to get married at a young age, I would make sure they know everything
The
that
ins
I
and
didn't
outs.
know and tell them I really think that you should wait. I mean, if they choose to do it the hard way, they can do it the hard way. I'm not going to stop them. I'll be supportive, but I'm going to let them know beforehand, like, this is what it is. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to have to learn life themselves, just like we did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then it's just like, I have friends now that are looking, oh, I want to be in a relationship and I want something serious. I want to, I'm not getting younger, I'm in my mid 20s and I want to find that person. I want to get married. I want to have a family.
Okay, let me stop you right there. So for y'all 20 to 28-year-old people, yo, cut that shit out.
This is what I'm getting to.
Cut that shit out, yo. Like that shit corny. Y'all think, I thought it myself.
People see people like us in a relationship that looks healthy on the outside. I mean, here and there, but it looks like you look happy, you have your kids, your family. Like, they don't want to be alone. That's scary to think about.
So
Especially
I
if you have
wasn't.
no prospects. Like,
But I wasn't going there. I was just going there
I'm
to
just
say
explaining why they want that.
no. I'm talking about the 20 to like 27, 28-year-olds. There is life after 28. Like you don't have to do everything in your 20s.
For women, it's more about an age thing, but I feel like your 30s is fine too, as far as like having children. I think once you hit your 40s, it's iffy. But, like, you could still be 30-something and have kids.
Yeah, like I definitely feel like
But people think
30s
they have
is
to
the way
start
to go.
now because if they haven't really, like, they've been dating and they haven't really been having good luck with dating, they haven't had like a real relationship in a minute. They think they're never gonna have it.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to push to like find the one. I always tell, there's a couple of my friends, like I always be like, hey, just focus on yourself. Like,
that's a big thing. Focus on yourself.
And I focus on you, and that will just come. Honestly, if you figure out who you are, that'll make everything so much easier. Like if you are the person that you are intended to be, you'll find the person you're intended to be with because they're going to see who you are. They're going to be attracted to you. And if they have their shit together, they're going to know what they want and see what they want. If you both have your shit together, you're going to know what you want and you're going to find the right one. You're not going to be going through people that you shouldn't be going with because you should know what you want. If you know yourself, you should know exactly what you want.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be going through people that waste your time.
Yeah.
So I
So
repeat that so many times, but people just don't
So for
understand.
me, I would definitely be like, fellas and women, y'all in y'all 20s, y'all need to be grinding. Uh, making sure you're working hard at your job, making sure you're working hard at your craft. Also, knowing who you are.
Mentally,
Yeah, definitely mentally, because that
making
is a
sure
big
you
block.
are not the toxic person. You don't bring that toxicity into your. I don't know if that's a word. Don't bring that
Toxic energy.
toxic energy into your relationship because that's bound to fail
Yes.
or just make things more difficult. Because I mean, we had that. I mean, we worked through it, but I mean, things go much smoother if you've got yourself figured out and you're okay mentally and you got you've got your mental health in check and you've got what you want to do with life in order and like at least have a plan and know what you want to do. You don't have to be right. You don't have to be all the way to that point like in success with your whatever your career is, but at least if you know and you have a plan, that's a start.
Yeah.
Like before then, I feel like dating should just be figuring out what you like.
So casual.
Casual dating. Like
Yeah, I definitely would say casual.
don't date to be with somebody forever. Just date to get to know people, figure out what you like, what you don't like. And
Yeah.
that's part of getting to know you and what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just based, I mean, me back when I was 20, 21, 22, I wouldn't have done that. But I mean, me, if I had the knowledge that I have now going back, that's what I would have done if I didn't know you, of course.
Yeah.
But you were like, what the hell is she talking about?
Oh.
But I feel like once you've got everything figured out, then you go date for a purpose, looking for the person you want to spend your life with.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense to find someone because I'm going to let you talk because I'm talking a lot.
So yeah, I definitely think like you should wait, casually date, find out what you like, what you don't like, and then also
And have fun before you commit to somebody.
oh yeah, definitely have. I feel like that's like the biggest issue is like the having fun. Everybody wants to have fun and also
your
be in a
20s.
committed relationship.
You can't
If you don't want to be in a committed relationship, then don't be in a committed relationship. They're like, what's the point of that?
Also, make that known. You could be out here casually dating, but make sure the person that you casually dating knows you casually dating because they might be ready to commit, and you over here not
Bullshitting.
committing. So make sure you're open about that, gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't like how you put that much emphasis on gentlemen,
Because I was
but
gonna start off like that, but you know what, women too. You know.
but yeah, definitely.
But it's mostly women that be like clinging, and men don't even be serious. That's why. I
Yeah.
said
So like for just in general for males and females, make sure you guys are communicating what y'all want from the relationship. So if your intentions is not to be fully committed and you just want to casually date, tell them up front. If they get upset and they leave, fuck it. You know what I mean? At least you tell them up front, in my opinion. I feel like if you tell them up front, like, hey, this is my intention.
that could get messy though. Still.
I mean, it can get
For
messy.
women.
Yeah, it can get messy. But if I told you my intentions from day one,
then
then you like what are you gonna be mad at?
I mean, they could be mad, but at the end of the day, that's what you said, so you're not really in the wrong.
Yeah,
But I know it's harder for women to not be attached.
yeah, I agree.
So, men, you could be out here real honest and open, and women will still get mad at you. But still, as long as you're open, you're not wrong.
And females, be open too. Like if you want a committed relationship, tell him.
We
tell
don't
him
always
that.
know what we want though, but girl, figure it out.
Nah, man. Tell him what you want. Like if you want a committed relationship, if that's the man you desire, tell him. And
I mean,
then
be honest when you do catch feelings, so maybe he can just stop casually dating you.
yeah, and then if he doesn't, okay, so then he wasn't the one for you.
He's not the one for you. He casually dating and you ready to commit. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's the truth. Like you fought for somebody who told you y'all casually dating, y'all agreed on it. You gotta suck that shit up. Like admit to him, hey, I'm falling for you. We gotta part ways. Like
yeah, and that's how it
happens.
is.
Yeah,
And that's just how it is.
it's the real.
Yeah. Just to recap, men and women, communication is key. Make sure you communicate.
We're going to have a podcast all on communication.
That's whether you're married, single, looking,
I feel like
casually
this episode
dating.
kind of goes really well for married and single people. So, that's good.
Yep. So, are you ready for the positive affirmation? You're not ready.
So at the end of each podcast, we are going to do positive affirmations to each other.
Last week you went first, so I'm gonna go first this time.
Oh, since you already know what you're gonna say, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you, number one, for helping me get out of my complacent mindset that I've been in like the last couple years with being in the military, just being like complacent. Like I'm starting to dig myself out of that rut. I want to say thank you for that, and then I also want to say thank you for supporting and being behind me in my dreams or aspirations right now.
Hold on. I'm supportive now.
I mean, we doing a podcast now.
This is your dreams and aspirations.
Nah, it's not my dream, but it's
something
you know
you've
what I'm
been wanting
saying.
to do.
It's something I've been wanting to do.
I've been not wanting to do.
And you know what I'm saying, you jumped on board, and you said, you know what, let's do it. Let's start putting our message out there for the viewers.
I just feel like it's more of something to hold me accountable to, and things that I say on here, I gotta keep. Like I'm telling everybody to communicate and, better themselves, and so that means I gotta do the same if I'm talking about it.
You're right.
I mean,
right.
I am, but that's motivation to keep going, because if I'm gonna be telling people, I better have my shit together too.
Yeah, facts.
But I don't know how I pulled you out of a rut.
Just getting started, like you just getting started with being on the podcast. Just like, you know what,
Doing
fuck
something
it,
new and different.
fuck it. Like I have so much shit I want to do. Like yo, just go do it. Like
I mean,
what's stopping you?
I feel like my mindset now is just like, I put on Twitter, was it yesterday or today? I was just kind of like, don't think about everything, just do it and have faith that it's going to work out. And worst case scenario, it doesn't, but that means it's pretty much not meant for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just my mindset. Honestly, that was my mindset when I joined the military, but not in the same way. It was kind of like, Tamesia, stop being a baby. I'm desperate to get out of Alaska, so just do it. And if I hate it, I'm like, oh well. But I guess my positive affirmation for you is kind of little. I mean, it's short. It's just thank you for, well, today I was cleaning, you were watching the game, and you like in between like the game you were vacuuming. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that you were going to do that. I thought you was going to watch the game, so I was just going to clean while you watched the game, but took initiative to help. You vacuumed. You wrote up the chore chart that I was talking about doing, even though I said I kind of wanted to do it because I'm weird and I like that stuff. But the fact that you did that too while you were watching the game, that was different. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. I mean, like, that was a plan. Like, well, it originally wasn't like my plan was just to come downstairs and just, you know what I'm saying, watch the game. Mm-hmm. And I just seen like, we haven't vacuumed down here in a minute. Let me just grab the vacuum.
Yeah, just expose us, really.
I mean, shit. Fuck it. And I was like, you had mentioned, hey, like, I need a chore chart. Like, I'm sick of this shit. So I was just like, you're already upstairs cleaning, folding clothes. Why not, release some of that stress from her? Because I know, like, when you have so much stuff on your plate and you don't finish your plate, oh, it's a lot worse.
I mean, I didn't finish, but...
Yeah, I mean, we finished a lot of stuff.
I finished a lot. Because look, mental health, that's another episode.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a struggle for me, so the house is reflecting that. So it's some catching up to do, basically.
So we kind of caught up, and I'm happy that we kind of caught up.
I feel better that it's, it's not cluttered. I mean, there's still things that need to be done. The surface is clean. It's just a deeper cleaning that needs to be done, which I plan on doing some tomorrow, too.
Hey, you didn't tell me about that.
I plan on doing some tomorrow. I still have to do a few things that were on my list.
Okay. Cool.
Are you about to put it on your list or something?
Nah, I'm not about to put nothing on my list. I gotta go to base tomorrow.
So do I though.
Figure that out. Hopefully, I'm gonna be on there quick though.
Positive affirmations are done. That concludes our second episode.
Ooh. So you can follow us on Instagram at Marriage No Chaser, and also on YouTube
subscribe.
at Marriage No Chaser. If you guys want to leave questions, ask us things, anything, honestly, you can email us at marriagenochaser@gmail.com. Do you have any other words for our viewers?
Comment, subscribe. Is it subscribe on Apple Podcasts?
Yes, definitely subscribe.
Is it subscribe? And on Spotify?
Oh, yeah. We're going to be on all
podcast platforms, and watch us on YouTube. I don't know if it's called subscribe or not.
It's definitely called subscribe.
Okay. So
all right,
subscribe.
guys. This is the closing, and we're done. Peace.
Peace.